Kamala Harris has finished her election loss grieving period and has returned to remind American voters exactly why they didn't vote for her, why every single county, state, and demographic moved toward Donald Trump in the last election and away from the weirdness that is Kamala. Her 16-minute speech last night was as ridiculous as her campaign, as ridiculous as her entire political career. The most viral moment was the elephant story, which was her way of emphasizing the importance of protecting vulnerable people from Donald Trump.
Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake? Everybody's asking me, what you've been thinking about these days? Well, so in the video, for those who haven't seen it, here those elephants were. And as soon as they felt the earth shaking beneath their feet, they got in a circle and stood next to each other to protect the most vulnerable.
Yes, the Democrats actually put up a cheesy kindergarten teacher to run the most powerful country in the world last year. Kamala is talking about protecting the most vulnerable. I guess she means members of transnational gangs and cartels. I don't know. Because Democrats consistently ignore those people that are actually vulnerable in our country. When an innocent person is victimized by a dangerous criminal or an illegal immigrant or a gang member, you notice that Democrats completely disappear, right? They don't care about those stories at all. They refuse to talk about them. They only show up when they smell a potential injustice committed against a lifelong scumbag. A very warped ideology is now fully in control of this mutant political party. Many in the party seem totally lost. New York Congressman Dan Goldman is now claiming that Trump has cognitive issues. He's talking about the 25th Amendment right now. And just a reminder, here he was talking last year about Joe Biden.
I was in Israel on October 7th, as you know, and President Biden was nice enough to call me. And I can tell you, this was the day before that interview, I can tell you he was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
Joe Biden in 2024 was sharper than anyone he had ever spoken to. But Donald Trump, we might need the 25th Amendment. He's cognitively inclined. Here's more from Kamala, desperate to keep 20 million illegal immigrants right where she put them.
It is not okay to violate court orders. Not okay. It is not okay to detain and disappear American citizens or anyone without due process. The courage of judges to uphold the rule of law in the face of those who would jail them.
Yeah. Their method of operation leads only to chaos, lawlessness, and decay. They want due process now. They have learned nothing from the last election, continuing with the same insanity, ignoring the immigration mandate from that election. And those numbers are still holding, by the way. People still want these people out. Willing to do anything to keep their fake asylum seekers here till they can get them voting. Democrats are desperate to find Tom Homan making any kind of mistake. They're trying to find any mistake that they can utilize, that they can exploit, and they're looking like fools in the process. How many different pieces of evidence do we need against Kilmar Abrego Garcia as Democrats try to pull this man back into the United States? This week alone, we learned his wife's ex-boyfriend filed for a protective order because the new man in her life was a gangbanger, Abrego Garcia. His wife reporting a recording of him telling his mom that he could kill his wife and nobody could do anything to him. Maybe because he's protected by a powerful transnational gang? Maybe. The wife claiming, me and my kids are afraid now. He kicked me, pushed me, slapped me in the face, and threatened me. And as for those famous knuckle tattoos, a DEA agent under oath saying this just a couple days ago.
Based on your time as a DEA agent in the field, particularly in Mexico, these tattoos are consistent with MS-13 associations.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Do you know of any other set of combinations that would suggest some other organization this represents?
With this particular one, no, sir.
Yeah, that's just a DEA agent under oath, sworn in, saying the only thing that these knuckle tattoos mean is MS-13. Okay. The left's other new hero is Moshe Madawi, one of those friendly faces from the Colombia pro-Hamas riots that we saw last year. Just a guy that wants to kill every Jew on the planet, no big deal. Naturally, Democrats eager to defend him after he was detained by ICE. Mohsen was released on Wednesday and came out the hero, another left-wing judge. It's a big win for those claiming that he's just an innocent pro-Palestine protester. Here he was talking to the Trump administration after his release.
And I am saying it clear and loud. Yes. To President Trump and his cabinet. Yes. I am not afraid of you.
And I also want to kill all the Jews. Glory be to God. So defiant, new court documents, though, show that a gun shop owner in Vermont told police that that man, Madawi, had visited his store twice, expressing an interest in learning more about firearms and buying a sniper rifle and an automatic weapon, that he had considerable firearm experience and used to build modified 9mm submachine guns to kill Jews while he was in Palestine. Oh. These are their martyrs. But suddenly the optics of defending these people are not so good politically, right? Not for the broader Democrat Party. Hakeem Jeffries is now saying no more trips to El Salvador. Stop talking about these two. But the jihadist wing of the party didn't like that and also doesn't want to answer any questions.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morrell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Rodrigo Garcia?
I think you should off. Yeah,
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman? Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
How embarrassing that we let these people have power in our country, that we let them in at all. Poor Ilhan, the refugee saved by America, elected to power by America, who absolutely hates America and wants nothing more than to tear it apart. What in the world has happened to the Democrat Party? And yet they still have voters. It is the power of white guilt. For Democrat voters, it is virtue by suicide at this point, voting for the demise of their own country while using every resource possible to shield themselves and their own families from the destruction that they're voting for. Something Stephen Miller pointed out very nicely today. Take a listen.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.